your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Jamie had a question to him about the transfer portal for baseball. It's now closed, but as you said, you can still pluck guys out of the portal. The last entry into the portal from a Texas Tech standpoint was the junior right-handed pitcher Connor Mohan. Did that surprise you?
No.
No. Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
I would assume there was a little bit of nudging.
Okay.
With that one.
What do you think he would kind of go down a peg in terms of? Don't
know. I think he's a talented guy. It just kind of hasn't clicked for him yet. So, somebody will take a shot on him. He's. I mean, when you can throw 96 and 97, those are, not everybody can do that. It's just that, Connor his command was much better this year, but unfortunately, while he was in the zone, he was very hittable. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's got to develop the secondary stuff and all that good stuff.
And I guess if you're Texas Tech, from their standpoint, if you haven't been able to do it by now, you're probably not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, some of that, or just feeling like, hey, we got to bring in guys that we know are ready to go right now.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes also change of scenery helps people as well, right? I mean,
Hope so. Connor seems like a good dude, so I wish him the best of luck. I
mean, I don't know if you all of a sudden, now my screwball's working or whatever.
Well, I mean, sometimes you work with a different pitching coach, and maybe something it works better for you, it clicks or whatever, and I don't have any ill will towards him, so okay. I hope he figures it out.
Okay. Of the ones that went in, are there any that you really like? Oh man, just really wish that hadn't happened.
Well, I mean, if Connor Schaus is going to play college baseball again, I would have preferred it be here because he can help you both on the mound and at the plate. Mm-hmm. Lincoln Garcia was a good player as well. I mean, there's no question losing him was not ideal. Yeah, but not a surprise, to be honest. But there were other guys I would have loved to have seen. Will Jordan, Lucas Perko stick around if they were going to take a step forward. Mm-hmm. So, I feel like a lot of them were mutual agreements. Okay. The majority of them, but there were a few of them that I wish would have stuck around. Yeah.
I mean, the Garcia one, that was the one that you just kind of went, well, but you I think folks that were around the program sounds like kind of had seen that one coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the Schaus one, that's to be determined with what comes up in the baseball draft, right?
Yeah, my guess is that he's doing it for leverage to see what NIL offers that he has, and so then he can, when he's dealing with MLB teams, and as far as signing or not, he's got leverage to say, okay, well, this school's has offered me this much to come there. So, and that's the deal, and that's what I'm talking about. People are like, well, the portal's over. Okay, well, there's really good players that are still there. They're just waiting. Mm-hmm. They're not going to not play college baseball next year. Yeah. They're just waiting to figure out where they're going to go.
So let me ask you this.
And then teams are going to lose players to the draft that maybe they didn't think they were going to lose, and so they go, oh, we got to go fill that spot then.
And that includes...
Cool. And we've got that NIL money to spend, so now that the draft is over, let's go see who we can find.
Yeah, and that includes...
probably already got those guys just kind of hanging on.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm sorry. That includes Texas Tech, too, in terms of you've got some players that you're kind of wondering what's going to happen with the draft for those guys too.
Yeah, I think there's just the one player that you really are wondering about, and that's Kyler Thompson. I think everybody else that you expect to go in the draft will be drafted high enough and will not be back. But Kyler Thompson is the one that you just don't know. You feel like he could get drafted and get himself an opportunity, but would he consider coming back for a year, especially when, now with the 5 for 5, you would still have leverage another year.
Mm-hmm. Do you like how they've done the draft now? I mean, so that it's not like right during College World Series in June and all that kind of stuff?
I think it makes it hard still because you're finding out, you're close to the seasons, to the school year starting, right? When you're middle of July, your kids are heading to their school, a month from that, right? And there's the potential where a team gets a player back that they did not expect to get back from the draft. And then what do they say? Well, they go to one of their high school commits and go, hey, sorry, we don't have room for you. So a month before this kid's headed to go to school, he's got to go find a spot to play somewhere else. And so I don't know what you expect coaches to do with that. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. Didn't like it in the middle of the College World Series, in the middle of the postseason. So there's just no perfect spot for the baseball one, in my opinion. Yeah,
that's really what was going to be my next question or comment. That there's just really there's not an ideal spot.
But don't get ragging on the coaches for, man, they did this kid dirty. I mean, it's what they have to do. Mm-hmm. It's what they have to do, and it's being done across the country.
Yeah, it's just
like now we have plenty of kids that have been committed for quite some time, and you're telling kids, hey, we got to get guys that can compete right away, so we're going to the portal, and so you high school commits, sorry, you'll have to go spend a year at junior college, or you have to go play down a level, or you'll have to go somewhere else, and people don't like it, me being one of them, but that's what you get when you have the transfer portal. That's what the transfer portal brings. And so those high school commits, sorry about you.
Sorry about you, yeah.
Which is really not fair to say in that situation, because they did nothing wrong.
And they had no control over that. Yeah. I mean, they made their commitment, they made their deal, and they're getting the rug pulled out from under them, but it happens here and it's happening everywhere.
Yeah, and obviously some of the highest rated high school commits you're going to keep, but others you're not.
Yeah,
because again, you got to win right now, and college athletics isn't about developing anymore. It's about bringing in the best players for the most part.
Winning today,
wooing them with money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just the way it is, and I would say other sports are affected by that, but baseball's really affected by that because of everything you just said with the draft and the timing and the start of school.
The timing is just really weird.
Yeah, compared to the NFL or the others, basketball or other things. It's just.
And what about graduation?
Oh yeah, there's that too.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Drive time for this day in sports history. Today is Wednesday, July 1st, 2026. With this day in sports history, here is Jeff McGuire.
Yeah, we're going to get you started in 1916.
Okay.
Pittsburgh shortstop Honus Wagner, at 42 and 4 months, connects at Cincinnati to become the oldest to hit an inside-the-park home run.
Wow.
Pirates beat the Reds 2-1.
He legged it out, huh?
A year later, Washington Senators pitching legend Walter Johnson no-hits the Boston Red Sox 1-0 at Fenway Park. It's Walter Johnson. You'd expect that this wouldn't be that big of a deal, except it's his only no-hitter in his entire illustrious career.
Wow.
He is arguably the second greatest pitcher ever.
Yeah.
And that's his only no-hitter. It's kind of the Greg Maddux argument. He didn't have any. But did anybody ever want to face him other than Tony Gwynn? No. 1941, Chuck kind of hinted at this earlier this week, but New York Yankees outfielder Joe DiMaggio, on his way to his record 56-game hit streak, ties Willie Keeler's 44-game hit streak in a 9-2 win over the Boston Red Sox at Yankee Stadium. So today we're at 44.
44. Okay, thank you.
Tomorrow we'll be at 45. Go ahead and give you a hint. Day after, 46.
Okay.
1974. NFL players go on strike for 41 days, challenging the Rozelle Rule, but had to wait until 1977, which was 3 years later, for a new collective bargaining agreement. 1982, Cal Ripken makes his first of his record 2,216 consecutive Major League Baseball starts at shortstop for the Baltimore Orioles. And in 2016, former Red Raider Josh Tomlin gets a hard luck no decision after going 6 innings of 1-run ball and a 2-1 loss. I'm sorry, in the 2-1 win for the Indians over the Blue Jays. It is Creative Ice Cream Day.
Creative ice cream.
What does that mean?
I don't like. At one point, pink bubblegum ice cream would have been creative because it was different. It's also National Ginger Snap Day and International Fruit Day. So go have an international fruit.
What would an international fruit be?
I don't know.
A papaya?
Yeah, probably. I don't know that papayas are grown in the U.S. or in Hawaii. They could be. I don't know. Happy birthday, Pamela Anderson, who's 59. Liv Tyler is 49. Dan Aykroyd, 74. Alan Ruck is 70. He was Cameron in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And Nelson Cruz is 46. And on this day in 1863, one of the largest military conflicts in North American history begins when Union and Confederate forces collide at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. The epic battle lasted 3 days and resulted in a retreat to Virginia by Robert E. Lee's Army of Northern Virginia. And that is Day in Sports History.
This Day in Sports History, 6:49 this morning. No monthly stuff to share with us?
The site that I'm having to use now doesn't do the months, which is disappointing.
Okay, so we've been doing that for...
having to use.
The site I was using doesn't exist anymore. So I've had to change sites.
Okay.
We get like July's the month of this and the month of that.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find a...
Somebody wants to know what the Rozelle Rule was. The Rozelle Rule basically was if you were a team that signed an unrestricted free agent, then you had to compensate the player the team that you were taking the player from with draft picks or players. If the two teams couldn't agree on compensation, so it essentially then becomes a trade, right? The commissioner, in that case it was Pete Rozelle, had the unilateral power to determine it. And because teams didn't want to lose what they determined would be valuable draft picks or players to acquire said veteran, this rule acted as a massive deterrent from signing free agents.
Okay.
So basically it kept players from moving.
Yeah, he wanted to keep them with their original teams.
Yeah. So John Mackey, who was a player for the Baltimore Colts, he challenged that rule with the NFL Players Association. And then that was eventually struck down by a federal judge. Here we go with a judge involved again, but probably for a good reason this time. Court of Appeals subsequently ruled it an illegal violation of federal antitrust laws. And this basically led to unrestricted free agency and what we now see as a salary cap system for the National Football League. So John Mackey would essentially then become the Curt Flood of the NFL, because Curt Flood was the guy that really challenged free agency in baseball.
Okay.
And Andy Messersmith, who was a pitcher for the Dodgers, was a guy that also was heavily involved in actually getting free agency. Curt Flood was a guy that just he started the ball. Somebody says this, should be National Hot Dog, Barbecue, and Baseball Month.
They all seem to fit.
Yeah, hamburgers I would put in there too. Chili dogs, that kind of stuff.
Wait, did you just say chili dogs?
Yeah.
Were you not the one that says it's too hot for chili?
I did say that, but that's like conventional chili on a stove.
I've brought that up to you, and you've said it's too hot for chili.
Well,
I've specifically asked you
having
about
chili on a hot dog. I mean, that's acceptable.
Oh, now it's acceptable. Because it wasn't for quite some time.
The Phenoms really liked the chili on the hot dog.
There it is. There. See that moment right there, Jamie?
Oh, I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, the boys really like it. So it's all about
now. It's okay.
It's all about taking care of the boys, right?
Got it.
And the daughters, right?
Because you and I go round and round on this.
But just conventional chili, like on the stove, in the crock pot, that kind of thing.
Well, where do you think?
I know.
No. I'm
just the can of chili is different to put it on the hot dog. 6:52 this morning here on the morning drive. Somebody said this sounds like we need the Roselle rule in college football. Well, I don't know if that rule is per se, but. Man, I just don't know how you put all the toothpaste back in the tube to, quote, fix college sports or college football. I mean, it's even the wisest of minds and some that are crazy minds can't figure it out. Because, I mean, it's a little out of control right now, wouldn't you say?
Because whatever rules you put into place, there's this litigation coming that would go against it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that the powers that be, I would guess no, that they would never have dreamed that compensating players would result in compensating them to the point where it's millions of dollars, and college basketball players would say, nah, you know what, I don't think I want to go to the draft because I can make more money in college. And again, I'm not saying they shouldn't be compensated, but boy, it seems like it's gone way off the map.
And that's where you kind of look down at the NCAA and said, if you had budged a little bit maybe and, kind of met them halfway, so to speak,
sure,
that you could have had something that was more in control and controllable, and instead they refused to do anything, and then all of a sudden just threw their arms up and go, okay, do whatever you want.
Right.
And that's where we're at right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and you could say that the NCAA that should have taken place 40, 50 years ago.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Extensive coverage for you from the Big 12 Media Days in Frisco. Jamie, Choice, others will be all with boots on the ground there at the Star in Frisco to talk Texas Tech football and get the inside skinny on things and hear what other teams are looking to do and what their strengths are and weaknesses and things along those lines. The commissioner, I'm sure, Brett Yormark, will speak. It's all going to be very interesting to see how everything is, how many arrows are pointed at Texas Tech, if all 15 plus the commissioners are pointed at you, or if there's a kumbaya moment, or if there's a agree to disagree moment, or just as, or people just act like nothing happened at all. Do you have a guess on any of that?
Well, my guess is that there would be an announcement before next week that there would be no further sanctions, penalties, whatever, fines for the Big 12 Conference, or from the Big 12 Conference towards Texas Tech, because they would want to get out in front of that and get that over with before it got to media days and to not be the focus. But we've not seen that up to this point, so I don't think there'll be a kumbaya moment. I'd be very disappointed if I saw. I want Kirby Hocutt to handle himself in a professional manner and say all the right things and all that. But if Kirby Hocutt got up there and said, "Oh no hard feelings at all. We're good. No problem at all. I think they did the right thing." I think I'd be bothered by that.
Okay. Yeah. There's not going to be any.
But I want him to say the right thing and all that. And hey, we're a member of this conference and we're doing everything we can. We're looking forward to, having a great football season and beyond. And that's what we're focused on now. We're not focused on the issues of the summer.
Yesterday there was a statement from Sorsby, but there was then also a reporting of a resolution and agreement with Brendan Sorsby, the National Football League, and the National Football League Players Association. He's not going to seek any further legal action against the league. He's going to prepare for the 2027 draft. The league is going to agree that while he cannot sign with a team until after next year's draft, he'll be able to participate in pre-draft activities, the Combine, Senior Bowl, which is interesting. that he could compete in the Senior Bowl and not having competed at all this year. Visits with teams and then have a pro day. The league has reserved their ability to take into consideration his past for future potential discipline. I'm guessing if there was anything further that took place, that they would then say, well, this is on top of what you've already done.
Fair enough.
So that the penalty could be a little bit harsher for him than somebody else that had just been doing it as a first-time basis.
And doesn't it just feel so different now? Like you're talking about the Senior Bowl is going to let him play, even though I'm like, well, good for the Senior Bowl. He's trying to get right. Okay, he's facing a punishment here and not being able to play college football for a year, and he's doing the right things to get right. Like, good for the Senior Bowl for doing that. He's all of this that he said. He takes ownership for it. He knows he needs to get himself right. I'm focused on, getting myself available for the draft next year and being a better player and a better person and all the above. And immediately just makes you feel like, okay, I hope that goes well for him. Okay. Now, if we hear one more thing about him, and instead of that yesterday, if we heard, well, Jeffrey Kessler is going after this and going after that, we're like, again, never taking responsibility, never accepting punishment, we would feel differently. This is the exact right thing that he needed to do, and I think it's going to change. I think public opinion, not for everyone, but I think public opinion for some people will change because of it. I think this is what he's been needing to do for a while now. Yeah.
And my question to you was going to be, is there any positive fallout for Texas Tech in this, just from the standpoint of does this help your story at all in terms of it going away for the season, or do you think it keeps getting brought up?
I mean, it's a drama story. It's going to keep being brought up by national media members, especially when they're calling games for Texas Tech. Again, as I've said before, hopefully it's brought up to say, here's Will Hammond killing it for the Red Raiders. And let's think back to the offseason when there was so much drama of Brendan Sorsby, blah, 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 blah. Nobody was thinking about Will Hammond. We thought he was going to be injured, not healthy, and now Will Hammond's out here killing it. And what a testament to him staying focused and being dialed in and continuing to work hard when, all the focus was on Brendan Sorsby, and Brendan Sorsby's not here. So let's hope that's the narrative, when it's talking about how good Will Hammond is playing. I think it's going to be brought up by every national broadcast that does a Texas Tech game, but I don't think it's going to be the focus like it would have been if he was on the team.
Yeah. He can play in the Senior Bowl if invited. That wasn't extending him an invitation, LOL. Yeah, I understand that, but and then this person goes on to say, seriously doubt he's invited. Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think I disagree. I bet the Senior Bowl invites him.
They're going to give him opportunity to. And look, what do we know more than anything else?
Well, it would be good publicity for the Senior Bowl. That's going to draw way more interest,
absolutely,
than the Senior Bowl would otherwise. Way more.
Yeah.
Way more.
Yeah. He should have done it from the get-go instead of dragging it out. Well.
So what helmet is he going to wear at the Senior Bowl?
Wow.
His high school sports.
Yeah. I don't know. Hindsight's 20/20 on this. I'm sure that they have gone back and looked at things and went, okay, how would we do this different? What did we do well? What did we not do well? How could we have gotten our story out a little bit better? All those things. I mean, and again, because this is really the first, it'll be handled differently next time. And hopefully it's not us. But I think the biggest thing for Brendan Sorsby right now is, he's got a big target on his back. People are going to be watching his every move, especially folks in the NFL. And if he drops $1 on something, they're going to know about it, and they're going to go, see, this guy can't keep from gambling. Good morning, guys. I would imagine that the conference members, as well as the head of the conference, would love to have just a regular Big 12 media days next week. I'm fairly certain those of you in the media will not let that happen. DPI. Well, there's certain questions that, first of all, because there hasn't been any kind of availability for those questions to be asked. Some of those questions are going to be asked just because this is the first time that they're available. Mm-hmm. So, what's the purpose of a press conference, Jeff?
Last thing I want to do is answer any questions.
That's right.
Well, I think Brett Yormark's going to get asked about it.
Sure.
The ADs don't speak at these things normally. Okay, unless it's like, if Kirby Hocutt is there with the Texas Tech convention, he'll come talk to us or whatever, but he doesn't go around and sit at every table. Mm-hmm. I would imagine he will do even less of that this year. Yeah. I don't have any idea. But it's not like all the ADs get up there and talk. It's just the head coaches and Brett Yormark.
Yeah.
So, it's not like Pollard, who's just popped off there for Iowa State earlier this week, is going to have to answer to that. He's not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really more the coaches and the players than it is the ADs.
All the coaches are just going to say, "Hey, this wasn't my decision. This was the ADs and then the conference commissioner. We just play football."
Yeah, I'm here to worry about first downs and touchdowns, things like that.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm asking you this question today because my answer has changed over the last 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
And so my question for you today is, I think we're all, as Red Raider fans, pretty, we pretty much dislike everybody in the Big 12 Conference right now. Okay? We're not real happy with any of them. Does not feel like any kind of kumbaya that Chuck suggested earlier. Okay? With us and fans and programs across the conference.
Right.
So who are the 2 schools right now that you dislike the least?
Oh, that I dislike the least?
The least. That you dislike the least. And you obviously cannot answer Kansas.
Yeah, that's my alma mater. Yeah.
Would be an unfair answer.
Yeah.
And obviously, that's not including Texas Tech also.
Right. No, I understand. I understand that. That I dislike the least. I've got my answer. Although, based on what the AD said just the other day, it just makes me. I'm going to say the 2 Cougars, BYU and Houston. I have really no ill will with Brigham Young. I like the fact that they come into the conference. They seem to bring good competition. They seem to be nice to you when you go to their place. Maybe overly nice. The town's friendly, and as far as Houston is concerned, I like their arena. Don't really like the fact that their football team has been revived, but they don't pose a big threat to my fandom. So I'm going to say BYU and Houston.
Well, Chuck got it half right. I like BYU. Like when the first one of this answer of the 2 was very easy to come up with. I like the school. I like their head coach. I like the way their fans treat you when you go there. Every BYU fan I've met here, I've enjoyed their company for the brief amount of time that we've had. Feels like a good group of people that, as a conference member, I like them being here. The second one took me a minute to come up with the second one. It is not the University of Houston. That is a silly answer. I went with Colorado. Only because...
That's not silly.
Only because... What are they good at? We're all waiting. on that question. Like, I have no reason to hate them other than what they did before.
Deion Sanders is their head coach.
Right, but he was a Cowboy, and part of me doesn't hate that. He's annoying, but there's not hatred there. And he loves Joey. Like, he loves Joey Maguire. And Joey loves Deion. So, I'm not saying I like Colorado. I just don't hate Colorado. It's a small line that I'm going to build my ledge on.
Okay, so the reason I asked for 2 is because I thought we all would have the same answer for number 1. And we do, and it's BYU. Okay? I don't have any BYU beef. I don't. I mean, 3 days there and that press box for baseball was miserable, but this is not about, that. It's about the school and all that good stuff. And so I think BYU is likable. They really are, and most of that comes from the BYU fans that I meet. I think are good people. So, I think Kalani Sitake and Joey Maguire have a lot of respect for each other. I like how he carries himself, how he handles himself, all the above. So, I feel like he's the face of the university to me, and I like him. So I think BYU is number 1 on my list. Number 2 on my list, I think it's the only other one that I couldn't come up with a reason that I have beef with. I don't know how in the world you got to the University of Houston, Chuck. Mm-hmm. I don't know how. Wow, man, that blew me away. Arizona is mine. I don't have a reason to dislike them. I don't. Mm-hmm. I don't feel a rivalry with them. Mm-hmm. I think it's a great atmosphere of basketball. Yeah. It's pretty weak in football, but it's great in basketball. I don't know. I just can't come up with a reason that I don't particularly care for them. Everybody else, I can come up with a reason. Kansas State would have been on my list until their AD opened his mouth. Yeah. You had said something about, were you going to lean towards Iowa State?
But because of when their AD, what he just said.
I hope they fail miserably in everything now.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. But I think the Arizona's that's a better answer than Houston. I've liked going. I've only been to Tucson once, but I think their basketball arena is for fans, I think it's the second best behind ours, and I've been to all 12 or all 16. I keep saying 12 with regard to the Big 12, but I've been to all 16.
When I talk about the atmosphere, I'm not talking about for me to be there or whatever. I'm just talking about to watch them compete against us. It looks fun, right?
I agree with that.
It's entertaining to watch, and that's what I'm talking about. But everybody else, man, I can find beef with, but I just feel like Arizona's the one school I can't.
Yeah. Syntax Hank said this. He said the 2 Arizona schools because way back in the day I lived there. Okay.
That's fair.
We got one thing here. Wreckham Ralph, he said, really, Jeff and Chuck? Shouldn't everyone's answer right now be Cincinnati? And I responded to Wreckham Ralph, hey, least likely to dislike. So, was it?
Least likable.
Yeah.
The ones that you like the most.
Dislike the least.
Yeah. Right. Jeff, Colorado is the silly answer. That's what somebody said.
I think Houston's more silly than Colorado, but I think Colorado is a silly answer too. Because
what are they good? Like, the reason it's Colorado. I don't have an issue with Deion as their head coach. Mm-hmm. Yes, he's annoying. There's a lot of coaches in this league that are annoying, but he's not a jerk toward everybody here. He and Joey have a great relationship. They support each other. As you know, when Deion's kid played for Joey, like
you should see how he carries himself at Big 12 Media Days. You'd think differently.
He's Deion, but they're not good at football. They're not good at basketball. They don't play baseball. I mean, where can I build hatred?
He used his power to get his son's jersey retired at Colorado.
That's their issue, not mine.
So
he didn't get it retired here.
Mm-hmm. Huh? I think Coach Larson probably gets along to get along a little bit there with Deion.
No, I think he.
No, I agree with Jeff. I think he likes him.
Those are friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Double T 97.3 presents the Morning Drive Power Hour. The Power Hour is presented by Service Compression, committed to service, advanced technology, and field-proven compression expertise in the oil field. See them at servicecompression.com.
8:02 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. It's great to have you with us today. We come to you from the First United Bank studio. Take thoughts, comments all morning long. Yates Flooring Center chat line, Visual Edge IT hotline. That number is 806-771-0973 if you would like to give us a jingle. Next week, we'll be at, I say we, the station will be, Jamie will be, and others at Big 12 Media Days. And Texas Tech is in the first contingent. Do you like being in day one, or would you rather have been in day two, or does it matter?
I'd rather be day one.
Okay, just get it over with.
No, because we'll have more to talk about.
Okay, over the course of the 2 days.
I'm sure comments about Texas Tech and from Texas Tech will continue to ring through the star for the next day afterwards.
Do you? Is there anything like football related that you're anxious to hear about? Either
Will Hammond.
Okay.
His health.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's what every Red Raider fan wants to know, right? We've heard stories of he'll be ready week 4, and well, I don't know. It sounds like he's got a chance to be ready for game 1. So I think every opportunity that you have with Joey McGuire, you ask that question to find out, okay, at this point, what's it looking like? Because things change.
As of today.
Yeah, as of today, how's it look?
If he came out and said, Will is going to start week 1, would that surprise you?
No.
Okay.
If he came out and said Will won't start till week 4, will that surprise me? No.
Okay. And anything in between? Because
we've heard everything. Yeah, right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I've opened my mind to the possibilities of all those things could happen.
If he's unsettled about his availability, do you think QB2 without question is Kirk Francis, or do you think there's others that are in the mix?
Well, I would definitely tell you that I think Joey McGuire will definitely say there's others in the mix.
Okay,
I think he's been pretty consistent with that. I think most coaches are going to try to motivate their players by saying that, that there's, hey, he's being pushed by this guy and he's got to play hard, or he's got to be good, or somebody else could jump in and take that spot. I think that only makes sense. So I think Joey McGuire will definitely say there's more than one in the mix, but at the same time, I expect it to be Kirk Francis unless he's bad, and then you see somebody else come in and take over for him.
And is where's your curiosity level on Quentin Daniels?
Try again.
I didn't get that name right, did I?
Who is Quentin Daniel?
No, I was trying to think of that.
Yeah, no, I'm saying there's, we always have this guy that, you remember from a long time ago and he sticks in your head.
I don't know.
And he's not the guy that...
I don't know.
Are you thinking of Quentin Joyner?
Quentin Joyner, yes.
No, we know who he's thinking of.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, we know. Who is Quentin Daniel?
I don't know. There's probably a Quentin Daniel from...
Junior high?
No.
Was he your best friend in middle school or something?
He was the bully, wasn't he? He took your lunch money.
No, nobody.
He's living rent free in your head.
Nobody took my lunch money. I took my lunch.
Yeah, I did know that you were talking about Quentin Joyner. I just wanted to dive deep into the mind of Chuck Heinz and figure out who this cat is.
There is a Quentin Daniels out there.
What does he do for a living?
He runs a business here in town, and Chuck's trying to get advertising sold to him.
There's a place for he's committed to the Washington Huskies. Hell, I don't know who he is.
Okay, well, there's one that played football for Ball State.
Okay. Anyway, Quentin Joyner
must have scored a game as much as scored against Kansas.
What's your? And I was trying to think of his name off the top of my head, and that just seemed like his name, but clearly I'm wrong. So, what's your take on Quentin Joyner? What's your curiosity factor there?
I think he's a talented guy, and so I assume that he's going to be a guy that is going to help you. So I guess the curiosity is really the whole trio of the three backs and how you use all three of them.
But given
it's not just Joyner. I'm not as obsessed with the shiny new things as others.
Right? No,
I like to appreciate the guys. I appreciate the guys that are, come to a school and they stay there too.
Okay, let me see if I can think of the three things that you're obsessed with in order. Okay, you're obsessed with your daughters. You're obsessed with your wife. You're obsessed with your dog. You're obsessed with Texas Tech baseball. Beyond that, I really don't know. And your Mountain Dew. And that beyond that, I don't think you're. That's in no sort of order. Those are your five obsessions.
Plain and dry cheeseburgers.
Obsession, yes. Things that interest me, there are gazillions of them.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yellowstone, the TV show,
the park. Okay, the show. Yeah, I liked it.
I did think of you the other day when they had this guy on Wheel of Fortune, and he was a park ranger, and it's like
sweet.
Jamie would love to switch places with that guy.
Park rangers are smart people. Did he win?
He was energetic.
Was he good?
He was energetic. Yeah, he did win.
Okay,
he went to the final prize wheel, and he
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I'm very intrigued and interested to see how they're going to use the three of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. When I talk about the running backs, I'm not just Quentin Joyner. Because I'm like, we had a dude here last year that was really good. And guess what? He's back.
We had two that were really good.
Yeah, well, one of them was a little bit better than the other.
Yeah, no, right. But, I mean, your fear factor in the running back room is lessened because of what was on the field last year.
Sure.
And so I've got another football question, sports question for you, and we'll do that next year this morning. It's Texas Tech related.
But don't you think when people talk about running backs right now, they talk more about the new guy than the old guy?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and that's I'm just saying that's not me.
Yeah. But I do think because of the success that you had on the field last year, your worry about, hey, are we going to be able to run the football? Do we have breakaway speed? Do we have somebody that can help us move the ball down the field is lessened because of what happened last year versus just having a guy that got injured.
Sure. I just think Cam Dickey needs love too.
Yeah.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.